Hello friends, this is Dr. Mitesh Kala, presently teaching in Campaign School. Welcome to the online teaching resource.
Hi, we're getting into a new topic, direct and inverse variation, exercise 10a. This is for class 8. Okay, direct and inverse variation is a very important topic, not only from your exam point of view but also from your life point of view. Let me ask you a simple question. If you can finish one chapter studying in 2 hours, in 4 hours, how many chapters will you finish? Yeah, this is the basics that you need to understand if you want to prepare yourself for the exam. And then you will give me the answer, one chapter 2 hours, so 4 hours mein you can finish 2 chapters. What have you done? You've done nothing else but you've applied variation. What do you mean literally by variation is if one quantity changes, the other quantity also changes. So here in variation we are talking about two quantities together, and if there is a change in one quantity, what is the effect on the other quantity will decide whether it is direct or whether it is inverse. For example, let's take another example. If you can eat 2 chocolates in 2 days, so in 4 days how many chocolates will you eat? So this has changed, this also will change, and obvious answer is 4 chocolates. So this has gone up, this has also gone up. So whatever variation you can see in one quantity, the same variation you can see in the other quantity, because both are growing. By any number that doesn't matter, but if one's increasing, another one's also increasing, you call it as direct variation. But if I tell you, if you are very good at bicycle, okay, if you are cycling very nicely, so, and if your speed of the cycle is, let's say, 5 kilometers per hour, okay, then you can go at a distance of 10 kilometers. All right, but if the speed increases to 10 kilometers per hour, 10 kilometers, let's take 1 hour. Okay, so same 10 kilometers, so this is not important. 5 kilometers you took 1 hour. Sorry, if you're going at a speed of 5 kilometers per hour, you're taking 1 hour. If you increased your speed here, okay, what will happen to the time? Yes, since the speed has increased, the time obviously is going to decrease here. You will finish this in half an hour, correct? So this has gone ulta. So now here there is a variation for sure. So all these, both of them are variations, but here one increase, another increase, but here one increase, another decrease. So since they are going opposite to each other, you call it as inverse. So there are two types of variations. One is direct, another is inverse. Direct means if one increases or decreases, the other one also will do the same thing. But in inverse, if one increases, the other one will be opposite, it will decrease. Or if one decreases, the other one will be opposite, it will increase. Are you getting it? Now how to find this out? So when you divide two quantities and you get same answer as a constant, you call it as direct. But when you multiply two quantities and you get same answer, you call it as inverse. Okay, so let's take for example, if there are series of numbers 3, 6, 12, 24 and 5 by 10, is it direct or is it inverse? So let us divide and see. 3 divided by 6 is going to be half, 12 divided by 24 is also half, and 5 divided by 2, 10 is also half. So on dividing they are constant, so we call it as direct. What if I multiply 6 3s are 18, 50 and some different number? So not possible. So therefore it is definitely not inverse, it is direct. Likewise, if I take another quantity, for example 3 into 6, 2 into 9 and 1 and 18, multiply and check. 3 6s are 18, 2 9s are 18, 18 1s are 18. So since the product, that means x into y, is constant, we call it as inverse. Now here you can divide and see, this will be half, this will be 1, this can't be divided, and 1 by 18. So division is not applicable. So whenever you divide and you get a constant, you call it as direct. Whenever you multiply, you call it as inverse. Okay, so there is a rule, and how do you write it? X varies directly with y. Varies directly with y means both are in direct proportion. If one changes, another changes in the same direction. And x varies inversely with y. So you write it this way. So these are the two rules you should know. So what are you expected to know? Basically is only three things, that there are two types of variations, direct and inverse. Direct variation, that's the first thing. Second thing, direct variation, the division is going to be constant. Inverse variation, the product is going to be constant. And number three, how will you write? So this is how you're supposed to write. That's it. If you know this, you're sorted. The first exercise is purely based on direct variation. Second one is inverse, and third one is a mix of both. So let's look into the first exercise and let's see if we can identify the stuff as they are. So sum number 1, part 1, they say identify whether it is a direct variation. Only direct. You don't have to say whether it is inverse or anything, only direct. So what are you going to do is divide the quantities. So you say x1 by y1. We are calling this as x1, y1, x2, y2, x3 and x4. Okay, so we will divide all four of them. Even if one is not constant, it is not. All four have to be the same. So come on, pause the video, on your own, try it. So 3 divided by 4.5, so that's 30 by 45, 15 2s are 15 3s are, x2 by y2, again 5 by 7.5, so that's 50 by 75, 25 2s are and 3s are. So we got these two same. Let's look at the third one, x3 y3, 8 by 12, 4 2s are, 4 3s are, so again 2 by 3, and x4 y4, that's 11. Let's take 110 by 65. So I guess this will go in the table of 11. 11 1s are and 11 15s are. 5 2s are 3s are. So you can say since x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3 and x4 y4 is equal to a, which is a constant. Therefore it is direct variation. Yeah, you need to write these statements and systematically. Okay, exactly same way as 1 part 3. If this was not constant, we would have said this is not direct variation. Okay, so can you try this fourth one and get it for me? Pause and try on your own. Come on. So x1 by y1, 27 by 81. So it goes 9 3s are, 9 9s are, or rather 27 1s are, 27 3s are. x2 y2, so that will be 45 by 180. 45 1s are, 45 3s are again. x3 y3, 54 by 216. Is it 3 times? No, I don't think so. So this time it's not going to work. Neither did it work here. In fact, 45 4 times this is going to be. Yeah. So you don't need to go further because these two only are not constant and you are sorted. So you say it directly here itself. Since x1 by y1 is not equal to x2 by y2, therefore it is not a direct variation. Now it is not necessary that if it is not a direct variation, it is inverse. It may not be either. It may not be direct, it may neither be inverse. So you just have to say it is not a direct variation. You don't have to say that it is an inverse variation or anything like that. Okay, so don't mess it up, alright. So let's move on to the next one. I want you to try sum number 2. Before that, just let me check. Okay, it's alright. Let's move on to sum number 2. There you go. They say that x varies directly with y, already given to you. You have to find the values of x, y and z. So it's very simple. Let's understand how are you going to format the question. So first, say x varies directly with y. So both of them vary directly, okay? Then you can say therefore x upon y is equal to 3 by 36. Take the values which both are known to you, okay? So you get this as 1 by 12. So that's your constant. So write over here as constant, okay? Therefore, now take this one, x by 60, 1 by 12. So therefore you can say x is equal to 60 by 12 and 5. Now you can compare each one of them with the constant. So first thing you need to do is get the constant so your life becomes easy. Likewise, y by 96 is equal to 1 by 12 and therefore you can say y is equal to 96 by 12, which is going to be 8. The third part, 10 by z, again 1 by 12 and therefore z is equal to, in this case you are cross multiplying, so it becomes 120. So the answers are 5, 8 and 120. Got it? Is it simple? Yeah, it's very simple, trust me. Let's move on to the next one, sum number 3. 3 is a typical word problem. So they say that a diesel, if you are using 28 liters of petrol, you can go for 448 kilometers. So more the petrol, obviously more will be the distance. So both are moving in the same direction, so direct variation. So how will you work it out? So you directly say, therefore, call this as x and cross multiply. So your life will become very simple. That's one of the easiest way to work these type of sums. You just cross multiply. So come on, try it on your own and let me see if any one of you all can get the answer correct. Okay, so you say since is 3 dots, that is 2 on top and 1 at the bottom. Since, so I am writing right now since, otherwise you can put this way, since it is an example of direct variation. You don't have to prove why direct, you just have to say direct because you've already found it. Okay, therefore 28 upon 64 is equal to 448 upon x. We have assumed this to be x, and therefore x is equal to 64 into 448 upon 28. So let us calculate now. This will go in 4 7 times, 4 16 times, 7 6 are 42, 4s are, so you get 16 into 64. So 16 4s are 64, 6 96 plus 6 112. So I guess 1124 kilometers. I hope my answer is correct. Let me just check so that I don't teach you anything wrong. 1024. My answer is wrong. 64 6 96 plus 6 102. My bad, sorry. So you'll say therefore with 64 kilometers we can travel, or the car can travel 1024 kilometers. Easy. So first you say that it is direct, then write these quantities in the table form, cross multiply and get the answer. Exactly same way as the next one, sum number 5. So write this table on your own. Pause the video now. I'm not putting it on the next page because I've already written it. Okay, so come on, write it. So there you go. That's how it will look, sum number 5. So number of articles 27, the cost is this much. So for this much cost, what will be the number of articles? So we will say since it is direct variation, therefore 27 upon x, 1890 upon 1750. You can cancel the zeros here only. And now let's cross multiply. So x is going to be 27 into 175 upon 189. So this goes in the table of 27 7 times. 7 7s are 49, correct. And this goes in the table of 7 2s are 14, 25. So you can buy 25 articles. Now see, if you want to check your answer, this has reduced. So 27 also should reduce. So that has reduced. So therefore it should be more or less correct. So you will say therefore 25 articles will cost rupees 1750. Okay, easy. Come on, the next one, sum number 7. I am not showing the table to you. Try on your own and then we will go ahead. So there you go, sum number 7. Come on, get the table. So they say 6 notebooks is costing 156. So 54 notebooks, what will be the cost? So we will say it is, since it is direct variation, therefore 6 by 54 equals 156 by x. So x will be 54 into 156 by 6. 1 times 9 times. So therefore x is 9 6 are 54, 49 4, 9 plus 4 13. So it should cost you 1394 rupees. Let me just check. Sum number 7, 1404. Okay, I've got 10 rupees less. 9 6 are 54, 5, 9 5s are 45. So 50, 9 1s are 9. So my bad. 1404. I am sorry. The next sum I do it incorrect and I will stop teaching. I am joking. Alright, so therefore 54 notebooks will cost rupees 1404. Easy. Exactly same the ninth one. Come on, try it. 11 articles weigh 77 kgs. So how many articles will weigh 244 kgs? So come on, it's very simple. Pause and finish it. It is direct variation. Since it is direct variation, so let me add that. Therefore, 11 upon x, 77 upon 224. So x will be 224 into 11 upon 77. 1s are 7s are 7, 3s are 21, 2s are. So therefore x becomes 32 articles. So my final answer, therefore 224 kg will be the weight of 32 articles. Are you getting these sums? Are they very simple for you? Very good. If you're getting it, please write it in the comment section and let me know about it. The next one, sum number 10. Come on, hit it. On your own, there are two parts. Part 1, part 2, I have made the table already for you. So come on, hit it. So 120 kilometer distance takes 1 hour. So 36 minutes, how many hours? Now how much would be the distance or kilometers? Now here there is a catch. They have given you this in hours, this in minutes. So either convert this into minutes or convert this into hours. Whatever is easy for you. So let me convert this into 60 minutes. Okay. So we are going to use 60 minutes. So it is direct variation. Since it is direct variation, therefore 120 upon x equals to 60 upon 36. This also you could have converted 36 by 60 into hours, or this, whichever is fine, absolutely. So x is 120 into 36 by 60. 1s are, 2s are. So x will take 72 kilometers. See, less the time, less is the distance. 120 is come down to 72. So therefore in 36 minutes it will travel 72 kilometers. Don't forget to write this final statement, otherwise you will lose 1 mark. Likewise the last one, x hours. Okay, so we will say again, it's already written, it's direct variation. Therefore 120 upon 210 equals to 1 hour. Should I convert this into minutes? Maybe it's better. 60 minutes, or let's keep it as hour. Later on we will do it. 1 by x. So therefore x is equal to 210 by 120. 0 0. 3 7s are 3 4s are. So x is equal to 7 by 4 hours. Now I am converting it into minutes. So multiply by 60. So x becomes 15 into 7, 105 minutes. Now you should know 105 minutes is 1 hour, which is 60 minutes, and remaining 45 minutes. Therefore 210 kilometers will be covered in 1 hour 15 minutes. Got it? Yeah, this last part was slightly tricky. So you should know that multiplying by 60 you will convert hours into minutes. Did I make it very simple, the first exercise for you? That's good. Homework 1 part 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. You must practice the homework on your own, otherwise you will never get a good confidence on these type of sums or chapters. Okay, so until the next video, please take care, stay safe, pray for everyone and be honest. Okay, bye.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do write your math experience in the comment section. Thank you.